got to work soon after George Washington was elected as President of the United States of America, but their exact role was not always clear. For example, there was a large debate over whether or not they had the right to establish a national bank system and make national currency to help them recover from their debt. In 1791, the Federalists, led by Alexander Hamilton, were in favor of a national bank and believed that the Constitution permitted them to create one. Alexander Hamilton stated that, quote, "none but necessary and proper needs are to be employed," end quote, meaning that if they were to create this bank, they would only be doing what was necessary to help solve the nation's problems and nothing else. They wanted a strong central government led by the elite with weaker state governments. The Democratic Republicans, on the other hand, were in favor of a weaker central government and stronger state governments. They believed that small businessmen and farmers were the heart of the new nation, and they would flourish under that form of government. Thomas Jefferson, one of the leaders for the Democratic Republican Party, opposed the creation of a national bank. He said that the creation of a bank was, quote, "not among the powers specially enumerated or listed in the Constitution," end quote. The Democratic Republicans strongly believed that this was the case. This was an issue because the Constitution did not address this issue with clarity, for it stated that, quote, "to make all laws which shall be necessary and proper for carrying into execution the foregoing powers and all other powers vested by the Constitution in the government of the United States or in any department or officer thereof," end quote. This important debate was one of the major causes behind the creation of political parties and their significance in the American political system.
Darn you, Democratic Republican.
Why, excuse you, sir, you dim-witted Federalist. Your overambitious economic plans are ridiculous.
Take that back, you prune.
Nay, I say.
I cannot believe you do not have the common sense to approve the proposed national bank system. How can you possibly argue that the Constitution does not permit us to create one? It says that we have the right to do anything necessary, and the bank system is clearly necessary to solve our problems.
But a centralized bank system will do no such thing. For one, how does it help us recover from our national debt?
This national bank will give appropriate loans, and therefore the economy will largely improve. Then we will be able to pay off our massive debt.
There is one thing you and I can agree on. It is that we, these United States, are in debt. However, starting a centralized bank system will only increase our debt because we have no money to start it with.
Aye, but we do have the money. We can get enough from lenders to get it started. Soon enough, we'll be able to pay them back and pay off the massive debt.
Rubbish! There is no way that we will be able to pay off our debt by boosting our economy with a centralized bank system. In my opinion, we should abide by the laws set in the Constitution and get the economy going by having small businessmen and farmers flourish.
Eventually, Alexander Hamilton and his fellow Federalists won the argument, and a national bank was created in 1791. This argument was a major factor in their development. During the Adams administration, the tension between the two parties significantly increased. Certain important political figures, such as James Madison, predicted the rise of partisan politics. Others, however, were strongly opposed it. In his farewell address, Washington warned against partisan politics. He said that, quote, "it is a fire not to be quenched. It demands uniform vigilance to prevent it from bursting into flame, lest instead of warming, it should consume," end quote. But partisan politics were not over.